Well, thousands of residents along Florida's Panhandle are bracing for Hurricane Michael in Sarasota, Florida. The flooding already happening along the city's bayfront. It's expected to make landfall along the Gulf Coast within just a matter of hours. Reporter Hillary Lane has more details from Florida.
Downtown Panama City Beach, Florida is nearly deserted. Businesses are closed and most owners have evacuated as Hurricane Michael picks up steam. But Wendy Hamilton, who owns 3 stores, is staying put.
Our house is hurricane safe. We've got a generator. We've got plenty of water. We're good to go.
Ivory Yaraday and her elderly parents are also riding out the storm.
We have a parking garage. We have plenty of water. Our tub's filled up. We're ready.
Long lines of traffic, low fuel supplies, and empty store shelves convince both women to keep their families home. Hurricane Michael is expected to make landfall tomorrow. Here in Panama City Beach, the wind has been intensifying and the water's been getting rougher with each passing hour. The National Hurricane Center is telling people to get ready for deadly winds, at least a foot of rain, and a storm surge of up to 12 feet. Governor Rick Scott urged people to get out while they still can.
The time to prepare is right now. This storm is dangerous, and if you don't follow warnings from officials, this storm could kill you.
Wendy Hamilton and her husband have secured their storefronts. Now they're waiting for Michael to come and go.
We want to be here to be able to get back to the business, to get it open, so it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend.
Michael is predicted to be the most devastating hurricane to hit the Panhandle in the last several decades. Forecasters say it will cross Georgia and the Carolinas as a weaker storm. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Panama City Beach, Florida.
Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano joins us now. I've been looking at some of these satellite images. This fills up most of the northern section of the Gulf Coast. This is big.
Some folks would think, okay, October, end of hurricane season, not as severe. This spot, the eastern half of the Gulf of Mexico, is an area where not only is the water super warm, it's really deep. So hurricanes can just feed off of that energy, and that's what we're seeing right now. This storm is getting stronger, even though it's toward the end of hurricane season, as Ken mentioned, from New Orleans all the way back to Tampa. That's the breadth, that's the width of this storm. It is getting wider, it is getting stronger, and right now, a major hurricane. Category 3 storm, maximum sustained winds 120 miles right near the center, but some strong winds extend out almost 100 miles from that center. And look at the latest track. Forecast to be a Category 3 hurricane, and the center of the forecast cone is right over the city of Panama City, then weakening as it moves inland. But as it moves inland, as we've seen in several different storms, it's not just the wind, it's the rainfall. And this entire area in red all the way up to southern Delaware may receive up to half of a foot of rainfall. So your headlines, a direct hit in the Panhandle is likely, but storm surge will be a major issue, as will flooding rainfall. We'll continue to track Michael over the next couple days. Back to you.
In the Panhandle.
And that's where Terrell Forney is live now with what people are doing to prepare for that big storm. Terrell.
And there really is no other way to say it. A major storm with severe consequences. That reality is just starting to soak in with people who live in this part of the state, and they know they don't have much time left to prepare. Tonight's heavy downpour is not quite Michael, but it's a sure sign of what's to come, and residents across Florida's Panhandle are well aware.
I've been filling up like big pots with water. I'm putting in my fridge in case I need them. Tomorrow morning I'll be tying down some stuff in my yard.
From Panama City to Tallahassee, drivers are doing their best to dodge the storm ahead of a mandatory evacuation. But already there are long lines for gas, and sandbagging is in full force. Governor Rick Scott has issued a state of emergency for much of the area.
Every family must be prepared. Every family. Remember, we can rebuild your house, but we cannot rebuild your life.
We've already seen the winds from Hurricane Michael whipping in Mexico as the rapidly intensifying storm makes its way into the warm waters of the Gulf. Some cruise ships altering their routes to avoid the storm, and oil and natural gas platforms are shutting down and evacuating workers before Michael eventually makes its mark on the Panhandle.
I'm staying, so I will be here, and so will a lot of the people will be here.
And the big worry tonight is flooding. Here is why. The storm is forecast to come through during high tide. You mix that with all of the heavy rainfall that is forecast and the storm surge, this could have a dire, devastating effect for the Panhandle. We are live in Florida's Panhandle tonight. I'm Terrell Forney, Local 10 News.
Wishing them the best. Okay, thanks.